Another thing you meet is voters that simply do not care. Mm-hmm. You knock on the door and they say, I'm not interested. Mm-hmm. And sometimes what I'll do is, okay, if they're not interested, I'll just go ahead and just mail it to them. Mm-hmm. I mean, I can't do a complete mailing. If I go ahead and I try and do a complete discount mailing, you know how much this is going to cost me?
Oh,
$6,000.
Yeah, I was going to say probably as much as you're spending on the campaign in its entirety.
You know, I can't afford it. I wish I could do it, but I can't. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I do what I have to in order to get my name out. I mean, and it's a little frightening out there to some extent because you meet these whack jobs and you don't know who the next whack job is going to be. Mm-hmm. And for me, that's the part of this that I find very foreign. I'm used to working in an office, in a civilized office environment, in the computer science world, you know, where things are talked. You know, you talk, you dialogue, you know, you go to a meeting and you discuss, you know, what is the best solution to solve a problem, you know. Mm-hmm. You don't go in there and have to worry about having someone tell you, I'm gonna shove my foot up your ass. Yeah. You know?
Well, you know, has there been anything else that's been sort of eye-opening or sort of, was there anything that you know, kind of learned as you're doing this that you didn't expect to?
I did not expect to meet people like the ones I just described. Mm-hmm. Okay. That you meet this type along Kerrigan Avenue. There's that one house there where I knocked on the person's house, and then and he didn't answer, so I decided let me tape it on the garage door. He comes out of the house and he tells me, "What are you doing?" And he tells me in a hostile manner, "What are you doing here?" I tell him, "Well, I'm just hi. Yeah, I'm glad I can see you. I'm Franklin Perez." "Really? Yeah, well, get the fuck out of here. Is that your car over there you parked?" "Yes, sir, it is." "Well, get that piece of shit out of here." I mean, these are the people you meet. You meet these total, complete whack jobs. Mm-hmm. You know, and what hurts me is I'm trying to reach out to the voters at times. Okay, I'm trying to meet them face to face at times, and what they do is they don't care. They'd rather be either, seeing some football game, having grown men just literally just beat the hell out of each other. Okay, go with Dancing with the Stars, or see some reality TV show like The Hills or whatever the hell they're doing. You know, that's the sort of garbage we have here right now. Unfortunately, my biggest enemy is not Andrew Jones's $100,000+ that he's already received in monetary contributions. Go ahead, check this Division of Elections website. It's all there. He has received more than $100,000 in monetary contributions. Okay, by the time November or October of next year comes around, I wouldn't be surprised if he winds up collecting close to $300,000 for a simple state house race.
Yeah, for a position that pays
like
30 grand a year.
40,000, 35,000, something like that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and the thing is, I can't do this full time either, because I gotta work Monday through Friday.
Right.
You know, this thing, if I were actually retired and I was having a nice pension, I could do this. You could literally do this on your own. If you had no resources. You could literally do this on your own. And that's the nice thing about a state house race, is that you could still make some impact with relatively little resources.
Well, going forward, I mean, do you ever plan to stop doing this, or?
The only way that I would see that this would stop me is if for some reason I'm not able to, I don't have the economic resources to do this. I think this is a good way to get the libertarian message out there. At least it'll get the voters comfortable with the word libertarian. You know, this is a good way to do it. I mean, unfortunately, the party doesn't do much support as far as their candidates are concerned.
Right.
But hey, you know, probably the D's and the R's probably have that problem more or less to some extent.
Well, I mean, do you ever, what do you do when you're not running? What do you do in your spare time? What do I
do in my spare time? Well, I watch television. I go to Rachel's adult entertainment. You know, I go there.
Okay. Well, I mean, you know, one of the things that I've always, you know, been curious, you know, from your perspective is, I mean, a lot of times when you're, you know, and I know it's sort of like, you know, water on a duck thing, you just kind of let it go, but I mean, a lot of these people paint you as sort of this, you know, crazy drug fiend, you know, prostitute picking up, you know, they paint you in sort of that light, and I was just wondering what, you know, if you worry about that, is it something you think
I don't worry about it because I know it's not true. You know, I don't go out there and you know, I'm not a horrible person.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just because I as a client like to see sex workers, and you know, the sex workers that I've had experience with have been in a legal environment like Nevada, in the Nevada brothels.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just because I do that, that doesn't make me a bad person. Okay, for me personally, I have found it very difficult to seek, you know, physical sexual intimacy, and a consenting adult sex worker is not a bad thing. It's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I can't just walk up to a woman that I find attractive and ask her, would you like to be intimate with me? It's considered offensive. I can't do that. You know, I'm either gonna have she's either gonna walk away, or you know, she's gonna slap me across the face, or I'm gonna get a punch in the face. I mean, that's just the way it is, unfortunately. You know, and there's no other outlet for me except this one, the one I've described.
Well, were you married before?
No.
Oh, okay. I thought you were married at one point.
No, I've never been married. I've never had any children.
Mm-hmm.
I never really had as a teenager. I never had a girlfriend either.
Really?
So most of the mistakes a teenager or then an adult would make during their earlier lives, that's something that even as an adult, it's not as forgiving as someone in my age, which is 46.
Right.
You know, and as far as those people calling me fiend and perv and all that stuff, you know, again, these are the same people that go to tea parties and they're not really for freedom.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I have to, and like that posting says that the let me be sex workers that I'm glad that the Seminole Chronicle posted.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what right do other members of society have to dictate to a consenting adult what right do they have to tell people what constitutes their happiness? If it makes me happy to see a consenting adult sex worker, that is my right. If a consenting adult sex worker wants to see me, that is also her right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I'm not trying to put this on anybody's face. You know, I'm not trying to be in any, you know, I'm not trying to have an in-your-face attitude or anything like that. And if the laws here in Florida would allow for the sex worker profession to exist in some legal fashion, I would not be making an issue of this. Right. But the fact that it is illegal, you know, the fact that it is illegal, it now becomes my, you know, I think that it becomes now my business.
Mm-hmm.
To say that this is not right.